A series of simple workplace questions can spark employee management action with measurable results. The effects are local and team-based, but they can be repeated across the entire company for bottom-line gains. The positive effect of feedback on performance has become one of the most widely accepted principles in psychology, write Professors Angelo S. Danesi and Avraham N. Kluger in the February 2000 issue of the Academy of Management Executive. No surprise, then, that feedback gathering, whether in the form of 360-degree evaluations, employee opinion polls, or numeric voting pads at large executive gatherings, has spread like kudzu across the corporate landscape. But there is a dangerous flaw in much feedback methodology. An analysis by the two professors of 131 studies on feedback effectiveness found that in more than a third of the cases where it was possible to assess the effectiveness of feedback, providing feedback actually hurt subsequent performance. Poor design and participation are obvious culprits, but the biggest source of failure in the feedback effort is surely that employees' volunteered input unaccountably evaporates. The individual has his or her moment of self-expression, a fleeting participation in the great collective search for truth, then silence, nada, frustration as the status quo prevails. 5 years ago, Gallup decided to create a better feedback process for employers large and small, an opinion-based tool that would both release and direct the powers of feedback. The primary goal was to identify and measure the elements of worker engagement that are most powerfully linked to improved business outcomes, be they sales growth, productivity, customer loyalty, and so forth, and the generation of value. To identify the elements of worker engagement, Gallup conducted hundreds of focus groups and many thousands of worker interviews in all kinds of organizations, at all levels, in most industries, and in many countries. From these inquiries, researchers pinpointed out of hundreds of variables 12 key employee expectations that, when satisfied, form the foundation of strong feelings of engagement. The result was a 12-item survey in which employees are asked to rate their level of agreement with each item on a scale of 1 to 5. Results have shown a strong link between high survey scores and worker performance. That, Gallup research shows, is linked to business outcomes. Thus, from the employer's standpoint, addressing the issues that boost worker engagement is a logical pathway to higher profits. Of course, this correlation is not new. It has been discussed in general terms by managers for decades. The Gallup method differs by creating a methodology that bridges the soft values that pertain to worker morale and employee engagement, such as recognition and desire to contribute, with hard and measurable outcomes. Employees respond to the 12 engagement items using a scale of 1 to 5 based on their weak or strong agreement. But the Q12 process, companies that use the process devise their own internal term for it, is far more than a baseline litmus test of the degree of existing worker engagement. It deploys a feedback methodology for improving engagement by creating a factual base for discussion and debate of the causes behind the numbers. It yields actionable input from staff and managers for changes in attitude, conduct, policies, and processes. Follow-up surveys over the years track long-term progress or backsliding on the 12 items, each time releasing another wave of feedback. And because the terms of discussion are always grounded in data, the energy and the truths of this feedback do not evaporate unheeded, but, to the contrary, foster positive change in the work arena. In recent years, this tool has been used by more than 87,000 divisions or work units within corporations, and approximately 1.5 million employees have participated. For companies that were able to provide data across units, comparisons of engagement scores reveal that those with high Q12 scores have also experienced lower turnover, higher sales growth, better productivity, better customer loyalty, or other manifestations of superior performance.